What's up, y'all? I'm back. Before I get into this video, hit that like button on the way in. We're about to get into an interesting topic. Trust me, I know you guys are going to like this one. Hit that like button on the way in. The topic of today is K2-18B, the exoplanet. You know what comes to mind when I think about this planet K2-18B before I get into what has been discovered there? If you're familiar with the Sumerian literature, then you already know that this seems like the planet Nibiru, right? Only we don't call it Nibiru, it's K2-18b, which happens to be. Now, bear in mind, that's my opinion in regarding this being Nibiru. I just made that up as I go. You can choose to believe me if you like. You don't have to, it's fine with me. Um, so they made a little discovery, and let me read a little bit about what they said. In 2025, like if 2025 is already over. We're still in 2025, but there's a lot of interesting things happening around us. All right, so let's get back to this. The atmosphere of K2-18b was reported to contain dimethyl. I'm sorry if I'm slaughtering the actual word, because it is a big word. DMS, a chemical that could serve as a biosignature on exoplanets in quantities 20 times higher than on Earth. As the molecule is short-lived, the concentration is highly suggestive that DMS is being replenished. Other scientists criticize that statement for its bold claims and flawed analysis, and point to the lab experiments that can produce DMS without life. So, I guess science can keep going back and forth into either pretending that they don't know that extraterrestrials already exist, or these people are really not joking when they're telling you that this is exactly what they're seeing on another planet. As you know, we have always wanted to know if we were the only ones on, in existence in general. Even though a lot of science, well, the majority, of course, scientists, I believe they're bought by the elites. You don't have to believe that, but hey, at the end of the day, I think they control everything. Whatever you want to call it, space, school, everything. They control everything, literally. So they can make you believe something that isn't, and maybe there's something that is. And vice versa. They can turn something that is into a fiction, and something that is not into a reality. So yeah, to me, K2-18b sounds like Nibiru, because it is a giant planet, a couple size bigger than the Earth. And just because they don't have the exact same components that we need for life here on Earth doesn't necessarily mean that that planet needs that type of the same thing in order to have life. We already know that life needs water, right? Or does it really? Life needs air, right? Or does it really? Draw your own conclusions, but I say research, y'all. Research, because you'll find interesting things. So far, y'all know that the Pope is now passed. I don't. I know there's a lot of people talking about prophecies coming. There's this guy claiming to be the, I don't know, the Mahdi or prophet or someone sent before Jesus comes or something like that to that effect. I just think it's difficult to just believe all these literatures, especially when it's um, performed by certain narratives created by certain individuals. If you guys really go deep into, um, the civilizations of the past, you will see that obviously they started the kingship, right? Or if they didn't, then who did? The gods. But are the gods real, right? Because once again, we deal with a society that um, Mythology is simply that, mythology, but you can find it, like I said before, the so-called mythology into the Bible, the book that everyone claims is the book, prophetic book, right? We can dig deeper and deeper into a lot of things that are not being told out there because I believe that, if Satan really truly controls this planet, man, he's doing a great job at keeping everyone distracted from the actual truths. And people can say, hey, what's truth? Truth is what you feel in your existence, your soul telling you this seems good, then you know that you're on the right path. If something don't seem good, then that means you're not gonna follow that path because that's not your path. You would know, trust me, when the day comes. Now, I don't know what people's beliefs when it comes to biblical connections with these Sumerian connections, and some people be like, no, 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 but then they keep missing the point that ancient Mesopotamian cuneiform existed before the Hebrew language even stepped into the scene, or even the Aramaic language as well. That's the part that I don't understand why people don't understand that when you're thinking about the book of Genesis, for instance, okay, where supposedly God created. See, all this is connected. That's why I'm talking about it. It is connected. Now, once again, like I said, you can choose to believe it or not. It's completely up to you. I'm not going to sit here and BS any one of you guys. At the end of the day, I'm just here to teach, but also to learn because I know I don't know everything. But there's a lot to learn. And I'm willing to be that person, to keep continuing seeking for more knowledge. That's why I always make these videos when it comes to extraterrestrials, UAP, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like I tell you, I will never be deceived because I am looking for evidence that we are not alone. Um, but I do believe that we are not alone in general. So yeah, going back to this Old Testament real quick. When you got the story of creation, you already know, as I just described it, the cuneiform writing, okay, existed long before Aramaic and Hebrew, and quite a lot of other languages as well. So I don't understand why people keep twisting that the Noah story is before the Utapishtim flood story of ancient Mesopotamia, when in fact it's one and the same story. The only difference is the narrative's changed a little bit, okay? But it's the same story, and they switched the names. At the end of the day, it's the same people, only different names. That's just it. And that's why I keep saying that we have to bear in mind that we don't live in a fair world. We don't. We really don't. Because here we are like little pawns on a big chessboard, while the big dogs at the top take advantage of everything they can from technologies. You get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. At the end of the day, whatever they want us to know, they will let us know in the way they want us to know. But yeah, there seems to be a lot of mystical events happening around the world. They'll be checking for a new pope to represent the Roman Catholic Church. Um, will China take Taiwan? Because there's still a lot of interesting things going on around over that way. And it seems like there's a back and forth tariff situation still going on. Don't care about any of those type of political stuff. But let's be real. Reality is reality, and that's why I'm mentioning it. And there's more that I would like to bring into this video. I know that people sadly still talk about the Valiant Thor story as if it's real. You know, if science is science and they believe in the data that they believe in, right there, that breaks the Valiant Thor story in half. Simply because, science says that there is no life outside our universe, at least that they know of now, right? And I just don't understand why people can't, at the end of the day, check out these individuals' backgrounds, and especially the ones that make these completely outrageous claims. From Travis Walton being abducted in the 80s with his friends, how convenient, because they needed money back in those times. They didn't have no type of proof, no evidence of any kind. He recently, of course, I think a couple years ago, failed a lie detector test, Travis Walton. There's a whole bunch of liars out there, regardless of who they are. They just happen to be part of history based on their part in history. Do you believe David Grush is actually telling you the truth? Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. The one who came out in 2023 in Congress, and then all of a sudden, he brought all this out and said this, that. I have over 40 witnesses, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Where are the 40 witnesses? They probably disappeared by now because he just mentioned them, right? Or maybe they're preparing us for this fake alien invasion. But I believe that we'll find out eventually whether it's real, whether it's not, whether there's a real situation going on. But let me leave y'all with this though also. That just because we don't, or some of us may believe that life does not exist outside our universe, that doesn't mean that other life does not exist in dimensionals or even within our sea, right? Because not a lot of things are understood, even on this planet. Like I said, there's so much things that's hidden from us. It's almost like this is the Garden of Eden itself, and yet some are privy to the apple, if you get what I'm saying, and and some of us, of course, at the bottom of the barrel and get nothing, even though we come from the same royal lineage. But anyways, I'm gonna have to close this video here. I hope that this video meant a little something, even if it didn't. That's fine. Hit that comment section down below. Let me know your opinion about K2-18B, its connections, as I said, to maybe Nibiru, and other things that I touched on. If you guys want to, comment down below, it's fine. But yeah, I just say that this is the time that we need to pay more attention to certain events that they don't want you to see. Pay attention to the events that they say don't matter, right? Sometimes what you think is not doesn't matter actually matters at all. So, on to the next video, y'all. Peace.